There was once a moment when I believed I understood revolution. It was clean, digital, linear, something you planned for with spreadsheets and firewalls. But that was before the rip. Before the wormhole over Brooklyn pulsed open like a necrotic wound and dropped Zaha Senko, a boy-shaped weapon, chased across galaxies for the bones in his body. When that tear opened, ideas and matter, well, they intertwined. Language turned to meat, surveillance footage bled, and me, Leif, and Elspeth, we were no longer activists, we were ingredients. Leif had cracked countless frequencies before, but this one, it didn't just transmit, it vibrated into his bones. The code wasn't in binary, it was in calcium pulses. And then came the noise, a static that sounded like a ribcage clapping. Reality buckled, light folded inward. From the wormhole stepped Zaha Senko, avatar of cursed bones and entropy, with his bag of flesh, Avakian, snickering behind him. Wrong planet, but maybe not a waste. His axe, fueled by the spooky skeleton system, shimmered with negative gravity. The apartment cracked apart. Matthew screamed as the air bent, revealing the surveillance state they built as a decaying organism, still twitching. Zaha tilted his head. These bones might not be valuable. But this place? It's sick. I like sick. The surveillance equipment pulses with a malevolent energy. Elspeth had always trusted code, but now, the walls bled HTML. Words she typed in years ago whispered to her in reverse. The code flickers and writhes like living tissue. She fell into the subway tunnels, only to find an ancient chamber of bone-engraved books, parliament records of a government that existed only in dark dimensions. They pulsed with thoughts and hunger. Worm Greylock, speaker of thought, emerged. His skull was wrapped in silk bandages marked with every political concession ever made. You asked for a new world. You never questioned the currency. Each page of law needed a sacrifice, a tooth, a tongue, a limb. That was how legislation was ratified here. Elspeth backed away, but the walls closed in with cartilage and purpose. Above ground, the city warped. Streetlights became stalks of bone. Skyscrapers melted into kneeling spines. The Carnivote was born, a council that only voted by offering body parts. Policy debates ended with screams. Hajime Damamaru presided over it, his body a woven hymn of political compromises, his eyes glowing with bone truth. The people want purpose, let them become their own punishment. Sanko watched from a rooftop. Avakian munched on a satellite dish. They're fun, like skin puppets trying to be gods. They're trying to earn their bones. Leif woke in zero gravity. He'd been taken into the spooky skeleton system, and it was, rewriting him, not killing, editing. Zaha stood above him. You were part of a revolution, right? Wanted to overthrow things? Then congratulations, you're a bone key now. Injected with shadow marrow, Leif became a living conduit of entropy. He was sent back to Earth, crashing through layers of time and policy, buried beneath the bone parliament, where Elspeth found him, barely alive, leaking words. Together they read the Book of Erasures. It screamed. The Book of Erasures wasn't a book, it was a virus. A ghost of Crane's manifestos fused with dark technology. It turned ideologies into meat and fed them to the void. Elspeth stood in the old courtroom. Above her, the laws vibrated, mutating into carnivorous thoughts. The courtroom cracked. Zaha Senko entered through a tear in the air. You gonna read it? If I do, you'll disappear. Nothing disappears, not really. Not revolutions, not guilt. We just become part of the next bone layer. She opened the book. The court exploded. Reality convulsed. Matthew was gone, absorbed into a library where failed revolutions are filed by tooth density. Leif roamed the subway tunnels, whispering code to the shadows. He didn't need eyes anymore. His bones saw everything. The Carnivote collapsed into their own legislation. Their screams echoed in the veins of skyscrapers. Zaha Senko vanished, leaving only his axe embedded in the Liberty Flame, dripping with dark light. And Elspeth? She became myth. She lives now as a voice in the cables, a warning encoded into every act of rebellion. All systems rot. Some are just lucky enough to rot with teeth. The end.